Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 82 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on recognizing God's hand in my life. So, yay for day 82! I have 18 days to go. Oh, I forgot how hard it is to do videos on a daily basis because I haven't been doing it, and I got in the habit of doing it, and I loved it, and then I stopped doing it on a daily basis, and now it's just really hard to get back into doing it. But I know that God is in my life today, and mostly I've just been looking at this week versus last week because today I got the day off of work for the holiday, and last week I got the day off of work for the holiday, and last week I did absolutely nothing. And this week I had a bunch of things that I wanted to do, and I thought about things, and I had some ideas for my book that I'm working on, and I wrote them down, but I did not open up I opened up my laptop. I just didn't open up my story that I'm working on, the book that I'm working on. I didn't do any actual writing on it. I thought about it, and then I freaked myself out, I think is what I did. I just got very, very emotional, like very excited, and I'm like all of this stuff, and it's going through my brain, and sometimes it's just, I don't know how to deal with all of that excess. And usually I can just get up and I do something, and I clean and I exercise or I whatever, and I get rid of the excess energy, and then I can focus. And but I used to do that, and then I got in the habit of not doing that. I got in the habit of just ignoring it and burying it, zoning out, playing games, watching TV, doing other things, so I didn't have to feel that instead of dealing with it. And so I went into the I'm just not dealing with it and I'm zoning out. So I didn't get as many things done today as I wanted to do, but I am so grateful to God for pointing out to me that I am doing better than I did last week, because last week I didn't even get dressed. Today I got dressed. Today I put earrings in. Today I did my hair. Today I did laundry. Today I made some muffins, sort of. Well, I made the batter for muffins, and then I put them in bread pans instead of muffins, so that I would just have like a big loaf of muffin instead of instead of actual individual muffins, mostly because I didn't want to do my dishes to clean out my muffin pans from when I made muffins on Saturday. So I think it was Saturday. I made muffins anyway. But I also checked my mail today, and I took out some trash today. So I did things today, and maybe I didn't do everything that I wanted to do today, and I didn't do everything on my to-do list, but I did things today. And I did read my scriptures and meditationals today, and I did my little writing, praying to see myself the way that God sees me, and I was just kind of feeling like this is repetitious. I write the same thing every single day. Why am I doing this? And then I just had that thought that I learned by repetition, and that I'm like, a little kid, like toddlers and whatever, and they like to do the same thing over and over again. And the little kids that say, why to everything. That's me. Very repetitious and repeating and sucked into doing the same game, watching the same movie over and over and over again drives, other people crazy that are like normal and don't have ADHD brains. Like my younger sister can't watch the same movie over and over again. And when my sister Kay was living with me, I got a movie, friend let me borrow the movie, and I watched it like every single day, and it drove her crazy because after once or twice she was like, okay, it's a good movie, but it's not that good. And I'm like, yes, but I can't stop watching it. I have to watch it again and again and again. And I watched that movie to death, and then someone gave it to me for my birthday. I gave it back to that friend that let me borrow it, and then she gave it me my own copy for my birthday, and my sister Kay was like, no, I'm so glad that movie's gone. And yeah, I still have that movie that I will randomly pull out and just watch, but I've kind of worn it out to the point where I'm like, I'm done with it, because I do that. I do something like a ton of times until I'm like, okay, I'm done with it. Like, it's out of my system now. I don't need that anymore, or it doesn't hold any interest in me. And then months or years later, I'll pick it up again. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this, and it start all over again. So I kind of realized that God just really does know me, and he knows that I need that repetition in my life, and it takes time for all of the things that I'm learning, that he's telling me that to sink in. And mostly it was just things like that God is proud of me for my efforts, and that I'm doing a good job just trying, and that I'm doing better than I did last week, and that's progress, and I need to be grateful for my progress. And it's just going to take time for everything to sink in, and for all the changes that I want to make to become just a part of who I am. And at one point in my life, these were things that I just automatically did every day. And if I missed it, it drove me crazy and I would have to do it at some point. There used to be a time in my life when I would climb into bed and not having written in my journal, and then I couldn't sleep and I'd have to get out of bed and write in my journal so I could go to sleep. I still struggle to sleep. I don't always get out of my bed and write in my journal that would help me to go to sleep. I've just got out of the habit of doing that. So I'm trying to get back in the habit of doing that because I know that's something that helps me. It blesses my life and it helps me to be able to sleep. But I don't do it for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, and then it's like, poof, the habit's gone. And it's hard to get back into doing it. And it's frustrating because I'm like, I know this works, and why is it so hard to do when I only stopped for 1 day or 2 days, and I did it for like 2 months, like straight, or I did it for like a whole year, and then I took a day off, and now all of a sudden I can't do it again. It's like the second I give myself permission to not do something, then I never have to do it again. But then when I try to do it again, it's kind of like, but I don't want to do it. It's like starting all over again. It's like, I can't let myself off the hook for anything. But I know that I can, because God is gentle with me, and he's loving and forgiving, and he wants me to be gentle with myself and to be loving and forgiving, and to know that it's okay to not get everything perfect every day and to not do everything that I put on my to-do list. And it reminds me of a time when I used to actually make a to-do list, and I would cross stuff off, and sometimes that would help me to focus because I'm like, oh, what's next on my to-do list? So I could feel good about doing everything on my to-do list. And then at some point, I think I realized that it was my to-do list and it wasn't the to-do list that God wanted me to do for the day. And sometimes God's to-do list was like half of what I had, but his to-do list was doable for me and my to-do list was not. So, and now I don't necessarily write out to-do lists. I just have lists in my head of things that I want to do or ideas of how I'm going to do things. And then I forget that everything happens in God's timing, and that his timing is perfect, and that he has the perfect plan, and that I can't mess it up or screw it up to the point that it can't be fixed. And I'm grateful to know that. And that when I'm ready to do things, when I have done enough prep work or worked through enough emotions or whatever it is, that I will be able to work on my book again, and I will be able to do that, and it will be good, and it will be nice. And I know part of the issue is that it's not the problem of writing, it's just the problem of starting. It's not the problem of having ideas or even a writer's block, as some people would say, because I have all of the ideas flowing in my head. I know how I want to organize the story. I know what comes next in the story. I get excited. I get sucked in when I write it. None of that is an issue. The issue is just getting over the hurdle of actually opening it up, of actually starting it, of actually working on it. And for whatever reason, I put up a wall, I put up a block. And I think it's just, I get too emotional, too excited like today, or too nervous, or I project way too far into the future as to what's going to happen with my book when it gets published, because I'm assuming it's going to be published. And then it's like, okay, is it actually going to turn out the way that I want it to? Is it not going to turn out? Am I going to setting myself up to be disappointed? And then if I don't ever finish the book, then I don't ever have to be disappointed about the outcome, because then the outcome is always how I imagine it. Whereas in life and reality, the outcome is not always how I imagine it. So God is giving me the time to process all of my crazy emotions and helping me to break down my walls and letting me know that it's okay to do repetitious things, because that's how I learn and that's how things sink in. And that he's going to continue to tell me that he loves me and that I'm okay and I'm doing a good job and I'm doing enough. And he's going to tell me that as often as I need to hear it, until it sinks in and I'm like, okay, I am enough, I am good enough, and I have to stop beating myself up for all the things that I'm not doing, and remembering all the things that I am doing, and remembering all the progress that I am making. Because like I said, last week I had a day off and I didn't even get dressed, and this week I at least got dressed, and I did laundry, and I made food, and I'm very grateful for that. So, and I'm making my videos, so I'm being a little bit more productive this weekend than I was last weekend, and it's maybe not where I want to be, but I feel like it's progress, and I'm just going to be grateful for God to pointing out the progress and pointing out how much that He loves me and helping me to make these videos, even if it's really late and I should be in bed right now. But at least I'm doing it, and I'm grateful for that. So that is what I have for today. So if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and find ways to recognize God's hand in your life too.